Welcome to Moment Talk. I'm your host Shisa Moa and our co-host Mai Tao. On episode 22, me and Mai have an open discussion about dating and credit scores. Should credit score be even brought up at a dinner table while the two are getting to know each other? Does it all that matter? Knowing someone has a perfect credit score while dating them, does that kind of tell you that, hey, this person is responsible and they pay their bill on time and they may be financially set? Does that all that matter? If so, well, tune in to find out. But first, let's thank our sponsors. Today's sponsor is brought to you by She Sells Menswear. Are you looking for the latest trendy men's fashion? Look no further. She Sells Menswear carries handcrafted bow ties, suit accessories, and everyday streetwear. They are your one-stop mall-inspired men's shop. You can search them online at www.xixomenswear.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Hey everyone, we are excited to be here today. It is a cold winter still. We're getting some winter and snowfall here a little bit in the Midwest. How's it looking up there in Twin City, Mai?
Well, it started to snow this morning. Actually, it started to snow early this morning, and then it tapered off. And we're expecting some more snow tomorrow morning, I think. But we're expecting a big one on, I think, Wednesday evening. I try to not look really much at the weather news anymore. I just get it off Facebook nowadays. But that's what that's what I know so far. Hopefully, it's not too bad. I'm not ready for a winter storm at all. I just hope that it will remain this way, and then spring kicks in.
Do you think a winter storm is like your financial credits? Since we're talking about the subject today, one
You know,
day it could be filled with riches and uh, and then one day you're just dry as a desert because you're broke.
right? I know, right? Like one day it's like 720 degrees, and the next thing you know, it's like 500, right?
Mm.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I remember, when I was a teenager, or like to like a young adult, in the dating world, um, basing judging somebody on their credit score or not dating somebody based on their credit score was never back in the days mentioned. But I've noticed that even like among my friends in recent years, or even like this year or last year, it has become kind of an important um quality of a person. And I actually quite don't understand why I haven't really gotten down to the nits of it to see why it was important. But I think I can understand. I think if you're a person who um takes your finances seriously and wants to build some sort of fund, I'm sure you would want to be with somebody who can manage money and who knows how to manage money. And I guess in some sort of a way, the credit score tells it all. I mean, it tells a portion of it. That's my opinion, though. What do
So
you
you're
think?
saying that nowadays credit score is kind of a checklist of, hey, this guy is or girl is having a really good credit score.
Yeah,
It's a potential mate I would like to be around with.
yeah,
Do you saying that responsibility of a credit score kind of tells a person of a responsibility of themselves too?
yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. hmm And it's funny because
I
in
kind
my
of never
life,
really
like,
looked at it that way, but okay.
well, was that something that you ever, is that something that's on your checklist? Like when you meet a lady and you go through, okay, the qualities, I know, we all know you want a unicorn lady, but, what if the unicorn lady has a bad credit score? Like, is that something that's important to you?
If the
Because
unicorn
for
is
some of my guy friends, it is.
if a unicorn is a filter of a mule, then of course I'm the jackass, and I just got catfished.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. But is the credit score important to you though? You were to like meet a
I
lady.
personally have not thought twice about that, to be honest. Man, it sounds like going into a relationship, and if things get real, man, we're talking about prenup, right?
I don't know.
sign here in this dotted line, because I know you own a company and I know I own a company, and if something goes sour, then yeah.
Well, that's what I don't understand. I was hoping that you could shed some light on that, because in the dating world, like, is it? I mean, I've only heard it from a couple of people, but it's a significant number of people that I know, that has brought it up. And I don't know if they mention it as a joke or they're serious about it. But anyone listening out there, you can always chime in how important the credit score is of the other person for you. But yeah, I've had friends that I've hung out with that has mentioned that.
He or she,
Both gender.
they're pretty much question or kind of sounds as similar the same as in this person has a credit score that is pretty good, and I consider dating them because they feel like their financials
Yeah.
stability is something to look at.
Yes. Like their credit score must be up to par. At least good. If they have a poor credit score, I think just it's it will
You want to hear my
factor
bias?
in thought. Okay, what's yours?
Let's just say this: men or women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they are they have really high credit score.
Mm-hmm.
However, both of these men or women that you're trying to date, this potential mate, they are extremely in debt.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? Yeah, they're just good at making their payment monthly, right? The minimum payment of whatever the fee is, because credit score is done by how well how are rated at, if you're on timely manner and you paid, and you could just pay the monthly fee of whatever the minimal is. But
Mm-hmm.
they don't know how much these debt is. It could be a couple $100, it could be in thousand, it could be in the six figure. Heck, I don't know, who knows, in seven figures. Well, what does that say about people? And then are they irresponsible because they're hugely in debt, but they don't know how to make a monthly payment on time? You see what I'm getting to with this?
Yes. Yeah,
They're just
that's what
good. You know what I'm saying? So what are you
that's
saying?
what
Like,
makes people understand the situation. It's like, when did credit score become a thing? I'm not gonna lie, my credit score is not that great because when I was married to my ex-husband, um, we racked up two credit cards, and of course, after we were going through issues and all that, we of course did not pay for it. And so that had my credit score dropped down so low. And then of course I went to college, and then I got school loans on top of that. And so that really destroyed my score. But I've been working really hard to, get it up, but it's not to where I want it yet. And so I'm just a little taken back, honestly, uh, that I might meet a potential guy one day who I really like, and he's gonna ask me, what before I want to know before anything else, what's your credit score? And that might like destroy my chance with this guy. So it's a thought.
hmm, never thought of it that way. My credit score is not bad. It's not super
Hmm.
low, super high, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
And during um, my last relationship, I was in a deal for flipping a house, and I was during the '08 crisis. I knew nothing
Mm.
about financial.
Okay.
I knew nothing what I was getting into, and I was just um, what's the word here? Almost forced, or maybe um, to do what I had to do. So my name got put on the house that was going to getting flipped.
Okay.
Yes, since obviously we all know about the '08 crisis,
Yep.
and my name and my credit card went sour.
Okay. Yeah, that
So
crisis.
that's how would I explain this? I mean, it's just like, hey, let's do a deal. Let's go buy this house, but let's put your name, Mai, on it. You're just like, okay, sure. I have no clue why at the time because you have no clue about anything, and you're sure, and then things went sour. So just imagine that, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so that totally ruined their credit score.
Hmm. Well, I guess you don't ever just put your name on anything, right?
That's a lesson
Because
learned.
that credit score nowadays is significant to a lot of people. That it
Yeah.
turns out. Yeah. And I'm surprised you haven't like had anybody talk to you. I mentioned that to you.
Have you ever met someone that has like their credit score is not great, but they're not in debt?
Mm, I mean, I've heard of that. I've had minimal discussions among friends about credit scores, and yeah, I've heard that. I've also heard that I'm in debt and I'm working to raise my score, and it's progressing well.
So that
And
kind
I'm
of goes back to what I'm talking about. Someone who is heavily in debt, but they have good credit skills because they just barely make the minimum payment.
right. Well, because you learn from it, right? Like we all should learn from our mistakes. And yeah, there are some of those who learn from it and they start to pay it every month to get the score going up. So I was just very surprised when I heard that. I'm like, what? It used to be how attractive the person was, how funny they were, what kind of career they have, did they have dreams and goals? And now some are slapping the credit score on top of it. It's just mind blowing and funny, actually, kind of.
But I thought it's just my opinion since I'm a guy. I thought women look for security and then potential mate, and we're talking financial security. You
Yes,
see where I'm getting to with this?
of course, financial security is
Hmm.
important.
And they will want that from a guy. That'd be a plus if he's has a good credit score, and that also would make the assumption that he's got things going on in his life and he's doing just fine.
Yeah, that's a good assumption, and it's a fair one. But I hope that it's not on the top of everybody's list. I would be sad if someone didn't want to date me because my credit score was not 700.
Just
You
by
know,
that reason, huh?
yep, I would tell everybody right there, right now, my credit score is not 700. Working to get there, but not there yet. But it is what it is. But what other have you ever heard of any other relationship expectations that you're just like, what? Wow. Like maybe somebody wanted somebody that loves to clean the toilet, or um some people just only date certain kind of people in a certain career field. You ever have anything like that? You know anybody that's better ever had that?
I not really. It's I think for guys it's more like um more physical looks. Men are more uh, visual creatures, and it's kind of one of the things that we look for is saying. I hate to sound sour, I guess, but it's kind of the top five thing we look for is physical attraction in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And if they say looks doesn't matter, I kind of call BS on that.
Mm-hmm.
I I think I might call BS on some woman who says that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, however, I could be wrong because seeing both men and women, they could be, let's say, not the greatest looking, but just they have other that they have to offer besides just their looks. And
Mm-hmm.
it's again, it could be their financial or their humor or their their personality and such. It makes them more attracting as the dating start and the relationship goes.
Okay. So how important is a woman's if you meet a lady, okay, how important is it to you that they know how to manage money?
It is somewhat important.
Somewhat
Somewhat important.
okay. Why only somewhat? That's very gray.
It is very great. I mean, it's just
Would it be
at
like on
least
the
know.
bottom of your list?
Say what?
Will it be like at the would it be at the bottom of your list?
I actually never crossed my mind.
Okay, so it is on the bottom, like it's out of the world. Like you've never even yeah, it never crossed your mind. That's awesome, dude.
And it's never crossed my mind.
That's great.
I mean, if I was just gonna find someone that criteria, then why heck, I'm just gonna marry an accountant or a CPA or something. She like, you will hope, she knows her numbers. Like, okay, let her deal with the the numbers.
Well, you're gonna meet a lady, a lovely lady one day. She's gonna ask you to show your credit reports out and your credit score, and you better be able to explain every single one of them on there. But yeah, on seriousness, yes, I do agree with you. What you said before. I think with some people, it does mean some sort of financial security. Maybe they want a man or a woman who they can buy a house with one day and be able to help each other and be able to help you pay it off, right? Or maybe you guys will both want to build a strong, uh, you know, investment fund somewhere, and you need someone who's able to understand that and be able to build that with you. So yeah, I get it.
I don't think it's the mindset of us when we were younger and dating,
No,
and with
not a
us, like us, we the hosts we're in our late 30s, and we never considered this when we were, let's say, if we were dating in our early 20s, right?
no.
Never looked at that. Never, not even crossed my mind.
No, perché tu che hai già detto tu già cosa non già
Right? Exactly. Right. Oh, she's cute. Or he's handsome.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's got some swag when he walks. You know, I know that was me kinda in high school, in the, like junior high to high school. It's like, that's kind of attractive the way he's walking. I mean,
just the way he walks, like a limp. Like,
well, not so
Ma, are
much
you
the
sure he wasn't? Are you sure he didn't? He just didn't walk with a handicap.
not so much the limp. The limp was never really my thing. Um, unless of course, it wasn't out of the control, then it's different. But no, the whole cool limpy walk, no, that was never my
But
thing.
back about credit scores. These friends of yours, they're probably about our age too, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say mid 30s. Well, actually, young 30s too. Yeah, to
Okay.
40s. So it's a
Okay.
well-rounded, mature,
Okay.
or semi-mature age group.
Yeah. So again, it kind of refers to us again. Like to this very day, I don't honestly look at that. I personally don't look at that. Your friends, however, think of that as stability for the future.
Hmm. Yeah, I think next time when it comes up again, I'll have to ask them, like, have more questions prepared to ask them.
My thought
Wow.
on this is just this person is a habit of just not quitting habit, never give up habit,
Hmm.
and they're always looking to improve themselves and always working hard for the future. Because let's just say this person could have a great credit score and then they lose their job or the business flips because you can't we you and I can't predict the future, right?
Right.
So what now, right? It's like I
Right.
can't afford to pay rent because my company went overseas, or I can't even pay rent because the company went bankrupt. What is that? Doesn't see again. You met this person at a great credit score, but what does that say now, right?
Right.
The other person is going to be the breadwinner now. But again, that person has the mindset of like, it's no big deal. Job left, I'll just find another job, or the business went sour, I'll just build another business. Because again, it's their
Mhm.
mentality and personality. They're just like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to support my family.
Right.
So that's why
That's
like credit score never really, uh,
was a good thing.
yeah, it's something that never crossed my mind, absolutely at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Neither
think I
did
look
I.
for I look for more for habits.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I look for more for habits. And and habits could be sometimes could be even bad. It could be bad to kill too, or hard to change. So
Habits are very hard to kill.
there's a good and bad in habits too, and it depends on what kind of habits you got.
Well, well. Okay. Speaking of habits, what kind of habits will you be able to accept and not accept when it comes to finance, of course?
Habits of finance,
Yeah, bad financing habits that will ruin.
saving for the future, and what are you saving for? Are you
Okay.
saving to invest? Are you saving it to spend? Uh, and also habits of spending. Is this spending helping for your pure enjoyment, or this habit of spending for your investment in the future? We get it. We get it. Everybody earns this money, right? They work for it. They earn it. They have all the rights to spend it on what they choose it to be, or their self pleasure of buying themselves a purse, or their self pleasure of buying themselves a brand new car or a car part, whatever this person is into, their hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, are these habits of spending for your personal self in the future, or are these habits for investments? And those are the habits I would say I would ask and look for.
Hmm. Would you be okay with your wife purchasing a $200 pair of shoes?
For self splurge, if it's something that is I don't see in the closet, sure. What I'm trying to say
What
with
if
that
he
is
empties in
what
the
I'm trying to say about
closet?
that, what I'm trying to say about that is like she has 40 freaking pair of shoes. You don't need
Uh-huh.
another pair of shoes. That's $200. You get what I'm saying? If she
Hmm.
maybe has four and she's buying another one, sure. But when it's kind of a
Hmm.
habit of like you have 40 of these, I'm like, okay, why do you need 41 pair? And the next pair is like $400, right? It's gonna
Because
get
we
into
are
where like
women.
so what I'm saying is like this this significant other is not very materialistic. It
Mm-mm.
lives on just for her mean.
Okay.
You gonna get to this now since you and to answer your question for habits, spending habits, and answering your
Mhm.
question.
So you don't want somebody who always spends unnecessarily on materialistic things.
Correct.
Mm. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think that if I was with a guy, I don't think he needs like 6, 7 pairs of Nike shoes. Like, can't you just go and play basketball with your 2 pairs that you already have? You know?
But if this what if this guy has not 6, 7 pair, but about 60, 70 pairs of Nike shoes.
Oh, then
And,
dude, you better don't take
but listen,
don't take some of those.
listen. Hold on, but listen. But he buys this to flip it.
Okay, well that's different though. We're talking about bad habits here.
Okay, see now that's
No,
different, right? Because this guy's a different
you're just
mentality
flipping it.
because he's taking this into a business. Because I know guys who are like that, who are called sneakerhead, but what they're doing is they're
Mhm,
either collectors or they're actually just they like it and they sell it. You see what I'm
mhm.
saying? They're just flipping these shoes because they know shoes are they could buy for $100 some, and they flip it for 100, 200, 300 more dollars. So really, it's kind of a side hustle gig that they do.
Mhm.
It's like they love what they do, and they like sneakers, but at the same time, they turn it into a business where they flipping it. They're making money doing it too.
Right. Well,
So
then
that's a
that's
different
different.
mentality. That's exactly,
Yeah,
that's a different mentality there.
that's not bad habits. That's making money. So really, financially, that's not bad. I wouldn't say that you are bad in finance when you know to do that. No, but I think bad habits are those who just wants to buy it to just buy it for show. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that's what a bad habit is. You know, like, do you really need that many pair of Nike shoes? Are you really a collector? You know, I don't think they're all collectors. There are like women who splurges on expensive purses all the time. Do you collect them or what do you do with it? So where do you draw the line and say, "Ooh, that's a bad habit," or "Okay, it's just a collection"? You know what I mean? So it's like, what is a bad habit when it comes to money management? We have couples who maybe one likes to go travel all the time,
That's me right there.
right? And then maybe your significant other's like, dude, why are you traveling all the time? Monya things like that, right? For example. So it's like, where do you draw the line? It's like when you meet somebody, where do you draw the line with them
I would,
about finance?
I myself, and even my potential significant other, I would say my money and finances spent on experience and investment. So I would look for that in someone too. And my
Okay,
main
but for you,
experience is, again, like seeing the world,
hmm
going out and, whatever country you want to go to, and seeing the world,
making memories.
making memories.
Mhm. Yeah, I think traveling is probably the one thing that me personally, um, I wouldn't mind my partner or my significant other splurging on. Um, because you really can't put a price on memories and put a price on experience. And it lives with you forever, really. So that's probably the one thing that if I was to ever have a man in my life, that's the one thing I would not mind him splurging on, regardless of how much it is. But I have to be there
How
on
about
most of
like
the trips.
how about these couples that are, and again, we're talking about financing. How about this couple? If you have a guy who he loves his hobby, let's just say, and he works to pay for his own hobby though. Is that fair?
Mhm.
And this, let's say his hobby is fishing. He's a big time fishing guy.
Oh, we know so many people who has that, right?
So now, when you is there a reason to draw a line? He's not using your money. He's using his own hardworking money for his own hobby, a new fishing pool, whatever. Right? He loves fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a bad
Yeah.
habit, or what? Where do you cut the line?
Well, I think that's something that you and your wife need to talk among yourselves and be like, hey, honey, maybe $1,000 every month on fishing is a little bit too steep. How about we cut it down, bring it down a notch? Because I believe everybody should have hobbies, whether it's fishing or bowling or fixing up your car or
That's definitely
getting your
me.
nails done. You know, um, but there definitely has to be a conversation between the two to say what's reasonable and what's not. Yeah, that it's when do you, yeah, exactly. When do you really do draw the line? When is this collection of shoes or collection of purses too much? You know? So that is definitely a very, very good conversation. I do think that, every couple should have, even before they get married. But and it ties into the credit score, and I see why it's important for some people because I think it does in some way give kind of a picture of the person's spending habits. Because if you're always on blow, kada kar tamu listener, right? Kumutala tu mom blow, pay for blow, that kind of does kind of give an idea of your spending habits. So yeah, I can see why, it is on the list for some people. But at the end of the day, I think a conversation is needed.
Have you know anybody, or maybe went out on a date with somebody who was very, very, very frugal?
Let's see. Let me think.
You think they have a good credit score? Would it be something potential for someone who of your liking? They're so frugal.
I honestly have not been with anybody who's been very frugal. I've been with,
or maybe friends.
no, I haven't. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how I would feel if I was ever to go on a date with a guy who's like very frugal. Which I think I would. Yeah, it's hard to say because I mean I'm pretty frugal too, except depending on what it is. When it's going out and eating, not so much because I'm putting food in my stomach and I want to make sure that I'm satisfied when I take that bite. So no, I'm not really frugal when it comes to spending money on eating out. But yeah, I haven't. Interesting. That would be an interesting date, I think.
I think your date might be at best.
I think what I'd be most afraid of is the face unknowingly making that facial expression. And I don't know.
I would just, at best, maybe you're definitely going to a mom and pop shop and paying for the most minimal meal for the two of you, and at the end of the date, he's probably gonna hassle the
bill?
the server, the bill, to pay less.
Oh man.
No, that's getting to the point of frugal.
I don't. Oh man. I don't know how I would feel if that happened.
Yeah, how would you feel about that? What do you think? I wonder if he has he or she having an amazing credit score.
And they got there because they were so frugal, right?
Yes, because exactly why they got there. They got so frugal.
I have no idea. I have no idea. So, but honestly, I think that would be a very interesting and funny date. I will be ordering something like $30, and like a $6 sandwich.
I would be if it's that frugal. I would be. Hey, I think your meal came with some fries. Don't mind if I just share your fries with you.
I know, right? Or I think we should just split this bill half and half.
Yeah, we'll just split this. This steak meal half and half. Is that okay with you? That's what. It's not because maybe he's hungry. He's just frugal.
I'm serious. I don't know. Oh my god. What, have you ever been with a date that's really frugal? Or have you been the one that's been frugal?
No. I always pay for dates.
Mm-hmm.
If I ask them out, I always pay for dates if I'm the one who pursues. And can I detect if they're frugal or not? I can't. But after getting to know them a little bit, I kind of sensed that their finances not the greatest.
Okay.
So I would think that if they were financially set, they would have helped paid half or would have paid for the next time.
Like the mindset would think differently,
meaning
right?
They're broke, right? They're just broke. I don't think they're frugal. I think they're just broke.
So have you ever gone on a date where your date had ordered too much? And you're like, whoa, she ordered
Not
$20
really.
more than I expected her to.
No, not really. I would have, if she would order one of everything in the menu. Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I would have. I would have said I left something in the car and would have disappeared. No, I won't go. I won't ghost her.
Oh man.
I would just say, "Hey, you're washing the dishes."
I know, right? I'm trying and putting it away.
No,
My
but
God.
no. I've always, treat, because I pursue them and I ask them for a date, so I would pay for the meal to have a nice chat. Um, I come with I come with the open mind and just abundance of getting to know this girl genuinely, whether she is interested in me or not. I can't really say, but
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the company and having someone there, even though, um, like the next few dates, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like if I go on the first date with her, we had a great time, we had a meal, or we went out and had a great time again, but nothing became about of that. So what I'm
Mm,
trying to say is I wouldn't be bitter about my financial and having the time to spend with her because I feel she's just getting a free meal of it. You see the pity I'm trying to get
mm,
from this?
yeah.
Because I don't have any hidden agenda of just trying to get in her pants just because I say spent the meal with her.
Right.
And for the guys out there who just have a hidden agenda where like you feel obligated, then that's why you might feel pity or kind of mad because you have your own ego and pity, that you were wanting something from her because you took her
Mm,
on a date and you feel like she owed you something,
yeah.
and that's not the right way to look at that. Just enjoy it for the meal and having a company of just having her there and just having a good time.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay. So going back to what you were saying earlier, so when I have gone out on dates with guys, which hasn't been a lot, honestly, but the very few ones I've been out on, just to piggyback on what you were saying, if the man ever offers to pay for my bill too, which a lot of, I do feel like okay, they're financially, I would assume that they're financially secure, um, and they are gentlemen, and it makes me, you shut it so hey, you funny, we are on a date that the man holds themselves to that standard. You can share it social media. Um, but there've been a few ones where I'll go on the date and they don't ask you, oh, are you okay with paying your bill, or let me take care of the bill. They just kind of stand up after we finish eating, and then like you pay the listener, just leaving me to pay mine, which I don't mind because I always offer to pay mine. But in some sense, it is true what you said, because when that happens, I do kind of sense, oh, take with the ball, so money take what. But when it's a date, you do kind of, it gives, it's a different vibe than you going out on a date. I mean, going out to eat with just friends or a friend.
With that being said, and your personal experience, would you have a second date with him?
No.
Okay, so that means that finance is kind of a thing then for you.
Well, I think it for me it doesn't. For me, finance, of course, finance is important. Because like anybody out there, when if I was to ever lose my job or if I'm struggling financially, I would like for my partner to be able to hold their end of the stick.
But we're
And
not
if they're
talking
not,
about your partner, we're talking about this potential mate.
oh, this potential mate, no, I won't be on a date with him anymore. Because it shows I would still talk to them. We see each other, but I think going on a date, unless they word it differently where it's not a date, then at this time I'm like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna go out and eat as friends. Then I'm totally fine with that. But to have it be another like quote unquote date, no. Because like you said, if you're the one that's asking to go on the date with that person, I think that you should pay for both of the bills. And if he or she offers to pay their half, wonderful. But if you're the one that's initiating, you're the one that's wanting to go on that date, you should. And I think that shows character.
So him not paying for the meal is kind of his credit score.
Yeah, somewhat, yes.
Really?
But for me, it's really just character. No, for me, it's just, so,这sample, you know, like,
So I
okay,
have this one experience with So this is from a personal experience. If this girl is listening to this podcast, I totally apologize. I hope she is. I got back dating when I turned 30, and I've always been told to always pay for the date and be a gentleman. Well, in this one incident, when the bill came, we were literally fighting over to pay this bill. Literally.
Wow.
Because I am the guy, like, I should pay for this. You know what I'm saying? You should not pay for this. Remember, I have no proper experience of dating. You know, I've always been told. Remember one thing. I've always been told to always pay for the date. So that's always ingrained in my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And it got almost. Yeah, you say it's semi-physical, where we were like fighting to pay the bill, and I truly apologize. I truly do. I'm not a physical guy here, you know, an abusive guy, but it was just that mindset of like, you know, guys always pay, right? So she offered to pay, and it got kind of physical to pay for this.
You're like, let me pay. My character is on the line right now.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's just how I was brought up to do so. It's just the right thing, you know, because it's just like what I was taught to do. Is just like, hey, you always pay when you take it on there. Like, so okay, so that was ingrained in me, and I totally apologize. And it got to the point where it got kind of physical, where I like grabbed her on the wrist, and I accidentally squeezed a little bit harder, and I'm like, oh my god! Yeah, I'm serious. And then I realized, like, oh my god! I let go. I'm like, I thank God I was conscious of my actions. Like, oh my god, I'm kind of hurting her. I'm kind of hurting her, you know, because again, I'm being that guy, and I totally apologize for that, you know. But let's fast forward to 2020. Let's fast forward 2020. Hey, if she assists, I just sit there and like, thank you so much, and I give her a long hug and a kiss on the cheek. That's how physical it gets now. I just kiss her on the cheek. There's no fighting at all.
Okay, what did you think was going to happen if she were to pay for the bill?
I don't know. That was back in I started dating.
What was going through your mind that time?
I told you already. I told you.
God.
I told you.
No.
Let me tell you again. My mind is to pay for the bill. Is the gentleman's way.
I know, but what did you think was going to happen? That was it?
Say what?
That was it? That was all you thought?
Yeah. You always, what's in my mind is you always pay for the bill. That's it. You don't ever let the woman pay. Again, you always pay for the bill. So ingrain that in your head. And when the bill comes right in the middle, you pretty much fight for it.
I know, but to have that tug of war, that's a bit excessive.
I know that was. That's why I said I deeply apologize.
Yep, I think at that moment, you feel like your character and your manlyhood or whatever it is was being threatened.
Toxic, very toxic. That's very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think back of it now, I'm like, oh my god, I'm horrible. I can see why I'm still single. But nowadays, you know, if let's say even if I ask her on a date and if she highly suggests to pay, I'm not gonna argue with her. I'm just like, thank you so much.
Okay. All right, buddy. I don't want another story of that, okay?
No, I am deeply apologizing. Yeah. Yeah, totally changed man.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's been recent dates where this girl would, if she pays and she highly suggests, I'm not arguing. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Like for me, if I go on a date,
And
I'll
then
just
I'm just like, but it's a big it's a big plus in my shoes too, because I'm like, man, this girl pays for she knows how to handle herself, and I think she's attracted to me. She's gonna pay for it. It gives me the I'm gonna wife this girl.
Oh, okay.
It's like a good, it's a plus, right? For me, it's a plus. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna wife this girl. She's treating
Yeah.
me right. And I'm just here to enjoy, and because but you gotta understand, back then and back now, we're having a great conversation, and in the end, the girls highly, highly, highly suggest to pay for it. If she does,
Mm.
again, I'm not even gonna argue. I'm just gonna thank
Don't go order $100 meal just you, okay? And then
100.
he says yes.
If I would have known she's paying, I want top shelf. I want top shelf Sterling, top shelf Lobster Tail. I make sure that bill's $200-$300. I'm just kidding.
Tondoke should be the one like, hey, I want to go to the bathroom. Then never comes back.
I know, right? I gotta put some makeup on, and it's just like, where's this girl? It's been 30 minutes since. Like, where is this girl? She's ghosted me,
Exactly. But yeah, it's true. I think it all comes back around to I understand now, why the credit score is important. But the next time I have this conversation with my friends, I'm gonna go more in depth because I guess it does tie everything. I guess it's a part of something, part of money management. Just like seeing how somebody spends their money when they're out, or seeing how much they order when they're at the restaurant. It's important to me. It is, and I think the next guy that I meet, with the next guy that I really decide to date, I'm gonna ask, hey, so go score, yeah,
You're
and
gonna
go from
just
there.
you're just gonna bluntly just put him on the spot and say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm like, hey, go score, I'm just curious.
All right. From me, I wouldn't even ask. I personally, it's just you, it's you're the other host, and that's what you want in your significant other. I personally don't even ask. I
Yeah,
would just be there to really just enjoy the moment,
yeah,
whether she is financially set or not. Look for her habits and look for how they carry themselves.
yeah,
Whatever she wants to order on the menu, sure, just fries if that's what she wants, or she wants the best of the top, steak, sure, have that, and have a great meal. Whether she's gonna have another date with me, I don't know, right? If she don't, great.
Mhm.
If she does, great. I don't
Well,
even,
man,
huh?
I said, well, man, if I ask my date that question, what's your credit score? For sure, I don't think there'll be a second date.
Right. I don't,
But
because I come with the just an open mindset, just enjoying it and getting to
Mhm.
know this woman. Uh, I
Mhm.
don't know. There may be some men out there that has maybe a pity, I guess, or ulterior motive where they just want to get in a woman's pants, or um, whatever the reason be, right?
Yeah,
They feel maybe kind of salty if it's not what they expected.
right, right.
But this is
Mm.
my personal experience. I just enjoy it for uh, the time.
And that should be how it is.
That should be how it is. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that should be how it is.
Yeah, so maybe I'll leave that question to the end of the date. So ito yung muchea, when I ask, hey, so what's your credit score? And then she need yeah.
My so my prediction, if you personally would have asked me that mine right now, if we're just sitting here having a date and a dinner, I would be like, it's all right. It's all right. Just all right.
Right, it's right.
All right.
Okay.
Kamada, all right. Chidodi.
Tamara is acceptable. Yeah, but it's I really wanted to just talk about that because it's just been it's so new to me. Of course, I mean the credit score's been around for like ever, but the fact that now it's on some people's list. It's just very interesting. I was just wondering, and I'm curious. So any listeners out there, if a person's credit score is on your list of requirements, do chime in. We would love to hear what your thoughts are now about that. And why is it important to you, and why is it not important to you?
Indeed, I would like to hear your thoughts on it too. After hearing this episode, some of these ladies must be like, "What a jerk!" Like, can't believe like, "Hey, I apologize. It's you learn as you go, and I don't mean any bad harm. And I'm not.
Oh my
I'm
God,
definitely not.
like,
I'm not
oh my
definitely
God,
not an
you're
abusive
so
guy.
shallow.
I'm definitely not an abusive guy at all.
No, you're not.
So
You are a fine gentleman.
So it's
Yeah,
just something you learn in dating.
most definitely. But we hope that you guys, our listeners, have enjoyed this episode of credit scores and um, just how important that is in a relationship and your partner. So if you have anything you want to chime in on, you want to add on, maybe your experiences with somebody that is related to what we have shared here, please drop it down below in our comment boxes. We would love to hear it. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
That ends our episode. If you haven't yet, visit our official website at www.hmongmentalk.com or like and share us on Facebook at Hmong Men Talk.
Who also believes in building family values. She believes not only in investing in your future, but also investing in your present moment, creating time and memories with your family. If you have any insurance needs or any questions, please don't hesitate to call her at the link below.
Also, a special thanks to DJ Peter for using his beats. You can check him out at YouTube.